Hi, my name is Jasper Haun, and today I will be presenting to you my senior capstone project, which is about laboratory beagle testing. This capstone project features exhibit boards and a booklet that we worked on that shows our collaborative project as a whole. Laboratory beagle testing is a social issue that is currently being worked on and advocated for. There are tons of projects out there. There's the Beagle Freedom Project, which I also featured in my exhibit boards if you were ever interested in looking into this social exhibit or social issue more. First, during this presentation, we are to talk about a couple of slides in our booklet that we are very proud of. We're also going to look at a couple of slides that I feel need work, and I also wanted to present my exhibit boards. So we'll go ahead. Let me share my page. Oh, I wanted to start with my exhibit boards first. This one is the inactive panels. So throughout my project, I wanted to hold like a bubble theme. This project went through a ton of evolution, and I'll show you in the booklet. But this is the final product. The lab setting was something that developed over time, and so this it has come a long way. These bubbles are solidly throughout my project. The background is a subtle, like molecule setup. I have here the QR code for the Beagle Freedom Project, and the interactivity of this exhibit would be through the bubbles here. Um, And I have this little section that says pop the bubbles to learn more. And what would happen is if you were to touch each of these inactive bubbles, they would light up and show you different characteristics that beagles have and why beagles are good candidates for laboratory testing. The other interactivity spot that I have is to name a beagle who's been rescued. And it's just to kind of humanize this social issue and kind of give the viewer a feeling like they can change things as well and they can impact a dog that they don't even know. For my booklet, I do want to show you, see there's the bubbles from earlier, and I wanted to give a nod to that on the first page to show why the bubbles are being used. So I picked this like chemistry lab photo. Um, Here, this is one of the things that I was most proud of and something that I wanted to work on collaboratively. This infographic that I made was just a standard bar graph, and I decided to transform it into something that fit the theme. And so that's why I have that. I do want to do something with color to make this space a little bit more active. Um, Sorry. There is more bubble themes here, and I think that it really activates the theme, the lab theme, and it gives it kind of a fun, but still clean and concise way of showing information. I have these bubbles here. This is something that I wish to work on and maybe have those bubbles be a little bit more spaced out or a little bit more bold so that they don't just look like bullet points. And then I also would work on my appendix. Some of these projects feel a little tightly bunched together. And I know they're supposed to have like a close layout, but I'm wondering if there's something that I can do to activate that space even more and to show the evolution. I also did want to touch on the evolution of my exhibit boards and how I started off with a brown black palette with some creams in there and some red to stress the severity of the situation. Um, Here these were just placeholders and I had some photos, some infographics that I took from the Beagle Freedom Project page, some icons, and that slowly left the scene. And I wanted to do something more laboratory aimed. And so that's why all the Beagle imagery and everything went away here. And then these are the final steps to the exhibit boards and just polishing. But I do think that it came a long way and I was able to bring the bubbles and the lab themes into my booklet itself, which makes it feel like the project was just wrapped up even more in a polished way. Um, that's it. Thank you so much for such a good semester, and I am I'm so proud of all of us. Thank you for watching.